In this video help, we primarily use the Rapid App Map for accessing different screens. You click on it or tap on it once and it'll bring up this menu. This is a list of the different screens that are available in this application. Let's go ahead and go to the Asset Management and the associated tabs and different screens to see how that works. In this video help, I'm going to be covering the asset management entry information. We'll take each tab thereafter in a separate video to show you how those work. Let's start by looking at the screen from the top left and going down to the right. When you create a record, a new record, you could go in and click on the Do Action screen and add a record. This is a button that drops down. It's called a popover. And you can close it if you need to close it either by clicking outside of the popover or clicking this right here or tapping on it. That will close it. What we're going to do is once we've created a new record, you can see there's some of the assets that are already in here as sample data. When you get this application, if you do get any data with it where there's some sample data, what you would do is simply overwrite the data by clicking in the fields and changing the data in each different screen. Now, when you're starting to use this application, you have to consider a few things that you want to be able to do. First of all, you'll see that when we're looking at the data, which is directly below the equipment management here, it says equipment select. What that means is that if you're moving between records, this has a button on it and you can click and change the screen. You can click back to come back to the record you're in. If you're creating a new record, it'll come up blank when you click on the new record button in the Do Action button. So you would fill in the equipment name and all the associated field information for that particular record. That would include the manufacturer of the equipment price that you paid for it, the serial number of the thing, whatever the item might be. If you're a plan account management company where you have either city, state, or government type of assets and they require you to have a plan account tag, you would put the plan account tag ID number on there. In this case, it might be government provided equipment to your company. That would be the plan account equipment that you would have to identify the asset to the government by, and also the serial number, which is both important as far as that information is concerned. The date of delivery, if it comes to you, this could be the date that you received it as far as an asset, either from a government authority or you purchased it and received it. Where is the asset location? Now this may change periodically, but if it's a rotatable item where it comes out of the equipment pool and goes back, you could put it into the equipment pool as an asset and then use the asset assignment over here for equipment assignment. That would vary where this would be coming out of the pool. The next thing is there's a photograph that you can take of the item. Typically what you would do here is if you're using a camera and you've taken the picture of the item and it's on your hard drive on your local computer, you can tap or click on the screen here with the right mouse button and it would let you insert a picture. If you tap on this field on an iPad or an iPhone, what it's going to do is going to have the same similar pop-up, but it's going to say insert from the photo library. The next field is the purchase date of when you purchased this. It could be a new or used item, and dependent upon that, you would just put the date in with the pop-out drop-down list. Then you would put in the where you purchased it from. If there was an equipment salesperson, like if you bought it at a dealer, you would put the person who was your contact at the dealer. If you have a sales company that sold it to you, you'd put in the sales company. If you have a company address for that sales company or the equipment company, you would put that in here. You'd put in the city, state, and the type of business that sold you the piece of equipment. Would it be a dealer or a private concern or another company or whatever? If you put their email address in here, their website address in here, and you click on the open site, it will open that website address. If you have a telephone or cell phone for the contact, you could put that here, and then you would put the sales company contact telephone number here. If you have an email for that person, the contact, you'd put it here. If the asset is sold, in other words, if you have this asset for a period of time and now you're going to sell it or you're going to dispose of it, what you would do is you'd put in sold to, the sold date, the amount, the asset paid down as far as what they paid you, the asset amount due, whatever that may be on the balance, and the asset status as far as one of these items, either it's for sale, offer being made, sales, payment pending, down payment, balance due, or paid in full. Down in this area, you would put in a comment that would relate to the overall information about this asset on any given basis. So for example, if you wanted to make remarks about it as far as tax, as far as depreciation, or anything that has to do with this piece of equipment, you would put it into this field. Any of these fields that you see in here can be used in what is called a find. And what is a find? If you go up to the Do Action button and you come down here, it'll say Find Mode. And what will happen is if you click on Find Mode, it's going to empty all the fields out in here, and now you're able to actually go ahead and put in information to search by. So if I put in forklift, or even the word fork, and then I came back up here, and now you can use any other field where you know information about that, including the comment field down here below, or a telephone number. You could go in here and say perform the find, and what it would do is it would go ahead and provide the information here. If there is a number of records that are returned, except for more than one, then you are considering that as records in selection, and that's the term that is used. And if you go up and you use the Do Action up here, you can say, go to the next record. And in this case, there is no next record. I could say, go to a prior record. And I could say, prior record. And if there is a record for that asset in a prior record, I could cycle through the records and see those until there's no more there. And then it would stop cycling through them. If you want to see the entire list of items in selection at the current time, you could click on the asset listing, and the asset listing would come up and show you the current record in selection. And that, for example, if you had multiple records in selection, you could go ahead and click on this little arrow here, and it would return you to that particular record that you're viewing. If you come over to this screen here, and when you're done using the records that you have in selection and you want to show them all again, you would click on Show All Records. If you want to see the menus like on the iPad or on the cloud or on the desktop and you want to show those, you could click on Show Hide Menus and it would show or hide the menus. Like on the iPad, it's probably a good idea to hide the menus because all the activity that you may want to do in these screens is available on the actual screen here with all the buttons you may need to use, either in the Do Action or to navigate to another screen. If you're using this application, you see these additional icons up here. You can go ahead and click on that. In fact, this video should have been run from this particular icon or from the main menu or from over here, clicking on the main menu to show you the asset information. Now, if I go to a different screen, you'll see that there is a different icon here. And what we're going to do is we're going to continue to the next video. And what I want you to do is to go to the equipment asset and click on this particular icon. Thank you.